Hey guys, welcome back to the debate. Is wet dog food really better than dry dog food? Let's talk to an expert.
Breaking news, Germany just reunified after over 25 years. Let's take a closer look. Here's Jenna Sativa with a glimpse of what's happening.
It's completely nuts here right now. The air is filled with nothing but happiness, love, and satisfaction. As you can see, behind me there are people jumping for joy because they're meeting their families in more than 28 years. This is definitely the biggest party of the century. There are a number of things that led up to the reunification, but we only have time to talk about a little. Here's Frederica with the summary of why Germany split up into two countries to begin with. Frederica?
As we are aware, World War II ended about 4 years ago. Since then, Germany has been unorganized and dysfunctional, but has been helped by the Soviet Union and the Western powers. As you can see on the map, Germany was divided into 4 sections that were each controlled by different countries after the war. The Soviets wanted to take Germany's supplies while they were weak, but the Western powers tried to help Germany grow strong again by supplying them with an army, food, and other essentials. The Western powers believed in helping others in need, while the Soviets did anything to surpass their opponents.
Out of the 4 zones, these 3 on the west were occupied by the Western powers. Democratic Western Europe was called the Federal Republic of Germany. The communist eastern part was occupied by the Soviets and was known as the German Democratic Republic, otherwise known as the GDR. Eastern Germany had a more government and state-owned economy, and as a result wasn't as prosperous as Western Germany. Western Germany was occupied by the US, the UK, and France. Since Western Germany allowed for a number of elected representatives, they felt that they were superior to Eastern Germany in terms of representation as a German people. In other words, Western Germany believed that their method of government was better than the rest of Europe's.
Post-World War II, the political relationship between East and West Germany was diminished. Because the East was mainly controlled by the Soviet Union, it became communist. It had a stronger social and collective mentality, a tendency to obey authorities, and not a lot of ambitions. Additionally, citizens of East Germany had no individual freedom because they were severely restricted.
West Germany, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. It was a capitalist society and had an economy that grew rapidly. Because the people of the West had so much more freedom, many people residing in the East moved to the West, causing the East's population to go down severely. Obviously, the people of East Germany weren't too happy about the fact that most of their citizens were leaving the East for the West, so this caused much animosity between the two rivals. The Berlin Wall was built to solve East Germany's population loss issue. In August of 1961, the Eastern German government built the wall in secrecy around Western Germany and encapsulated around 2.5 million people. This prevented the East Germans from fleeing and moving to West Germany, as you can see in the picture behind me. It was initially just a makeshift wall of barbed wire with guards stationed, but then it was reconstructed to be a more fortified cement wall.
Shown here, the final version had a wall with an inner wall, a patrol dog, high security, and a 300 feet no man's land in the middle known as Death Strip. Any person who was caught trying to climb the wall was immediately shot if they made it past the highly electrified barbed wire. The East Germans thought that the wall was a brilliant way to keep their citizens from leaving. Let's see for ourselves the lives of one particular family that was involved.
Hi, I'm Joanna, and I live on the eastern side of Germany.
And I'm her husband, Friedrich, and I live on the western side. We both used to live peacefully on the western side of Berlin, but that all changed once the wall was built.
I was going to visit my sister and her newborn baby who lived on the eastern side of Berlin. It was all going smoothly. I had met my nephew for the first time, and we talked late into the night at the dinner table. I decided to stay over for the night and return to my kids and husband in the morning. When I was just a block from the house, I saw a newly constructed barbed wire wall with soldiers commanding me that I stay on the eastern side or I'm going to be shot.
She had no choice but to stay, and could not risk the dangers of trying to cross the wall. Communist Eastern Germany became her daily reality for the next 28 years.
By the time I was reunited with my family, I couldn't even recognize my children. I missed their life from the time they were toddlers to when they were having children of their own. The building of this wall made such a huge impact on my life, and that crushes me and I can never get those earbuds back. Now we just try to live life to the fullest every day.
So much for that touching story. Our thoughts are with your family. If you want to donate, please go to change.org/Joanna and Friedrich. Similar to Joanna's family, Westerners couldn't visit family or cross events no matter what the circumstances may be. People had to get new jobs because they couldn't safely reach their former ones.
28 years later, the Berlin Wall has finally fallen down. Unhappiness started when Hungary allowed tourists to visit Eastern Germany but leave and return to Austria. This caused many East Germans to flee, as well as many uprisings and protests. On November 9, 1989, 28 years after the initial building of the wall, Gunter Schabowski told the East Germans that they were opening the gates. Sure enough, to the surprise of everyone, the next day, guards were letting people freely cross the border. People would break down the wall and keep fragments of it, which is why so many pieces of the Berlin Wall are still circulating today. This picture behind me is of people crossing where the wall formerly stood after it was initially opened by soldiers. Additionally, we have a video that a reporter captured of people jumping over the Berlin Wall. Let's take a look.
Now I'll hand it off to our reporter Jenna Sativa to update us on the differing economic and political systems facing Germany today.
Thanks so much, Frederica. I'm Jenna Sativa, and I'm here to talk about the differing political and economic systems between East and West Germany. The German Democratic Republic was not a modern democratic state. It still focused on feudalism and the ability to treat people as serfs or industrial slaves. It was extremely expensive to merge both the East and West Germans. It costed about $110 billion per year. It took about 15 years for the East and West Germans to fully accept each other. The differing economic and political systems between the East and West Germans caused a few problems that were hard to tackle during the reunification. In West Germany, they followed a strict federal republic and parliamentary republic political system. East Germany functioned under a dictatorship and held a strong sense of socialism. Now back to our reporters at the headquarters.
Wow, Friedricha, that was such a tumultuous turn of events.
Thanks, Sally Sauerkraut. Always a pleasure working with you.
We'd like to thank all of our sources to help make this broadcast possible, including Johanna and her husband, who so bravely recounted their story for us. Thank you for joining us with this breaking news of the reunification of Germany. Now, back to the scheduled program. Is there really a superior dog food?
You are the best thing that's ever been mine.
I hate you! Hi, I'm Joanna, and I live on the eastern side of Germany.
And I'm her husband, Friedrich, and I live on the...
Kristen! How to stop this thing?
I want to be the man.
Welcome back to the debate. Is wet dog food really better than dry dog food?